Hey guys, it's me, EODGamerZ here, your market analyst for Path of Exile 2. Now in this video, the knowledge I'm going to share with you will help you make good amounts of money or perhaps even save you a lot of money, depends on how you want to use the information here. Some of you that are right in this video, maybe you are rolling them from reforging 3 IRA to the next one, You want to know actually, is there an efficiency arbitrage strategy, or perhaps is there a mistake that a lot of people are doing, as well as maybe some of the use cases, why certain things are more valuable. In order to understand all of this, it's really starting first off with the reforging bin. For those of you who don't know, you can take a lower tier, for example tier 1, which is the lowest tier distilled emotion. By reforging it, you push them up to the next tier, so 3 for 1, and you will keep going down the line so that you go from tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, all the way up to tier 10, which is distilled isolation, of course. Though what they are mainly used for right now is taking your amulets, you're anointing certain buffs. For example, if I slap on these 3, I can anoint my amulet for a certain buff. The other option is taking, for example, waystones, slapping it here and giving them particular buffs as well. Each of the different nodes all have different ways of buffing the waystones. For example, Ira is giving extra magic monsters, but the ones that are really quite good right now and desirable is Greed, which gives increased rarity, as well as Paranoia, which increases rare monsters. So these two generally are more valuable than a lot of the others with respect to a lot of other things, and you will see that as well depicting in this video. For those of you who don't know, if you want to anoint, instill a corrupted waystone, you actually do need a tainted oil, just FYI, just a bit of extra sharing in this video as well. But now, in order to understand the market dynamics, how to actually save resources, make money, what we need to do is actually go into our spreadsheet over here, which shows us a lot of detail of the different ones. So what I did here is I put in the want side, which means you want to buy, is generally higher. Wanting something is higher than selling something. That's how it usually works. Market always changes, so these numbers will definitely change. Don't take this video, this is just for illustration. Don't take it and assume it's the market because it's always changing as well. What I'm looking for here is a very nice spread to see which of the distilled emotions are much better than not. So you can use this column over here to help you determine what is better, what is worse. Of course, you can build this sheet on your own as well. By the end of this video, I'll teach you the knowledge needed to build your own sheet. If you're too lazy, you can't be bothered building a sheet, we have one on the member section as an exclusive thank you for supporting the channel, keeping us alive as well. This spread here just tells you what's the difference between the buy and sell. The ones that have a higher spread means it's possible to buy it at a cheap price, sell it at a higher price, so you can make the difference between both of them. Basically what it is, not the main point of this video. The main point of this video actually is, on top of this arbitrage strategy that you're doing, the spread trading, we want to go on and actually see the middle market. So I don't care what's the spread, whether it's low, whether it's high, I just take the mid rate. So buy, sell, plus together, divide by 2, I get a simple rate in between both of them, so I ignore the spread, assuming it doesn't exist at all, so everything is perfect. But of course, as you can see, there are a bit of inefficiencies in the market based on demand and supply. When I reforge the previous one, because right now we want to know, if we want to buy the next tier, is it cheaper to buy the next tier, or is it actually cheaper to buy the tier 1 one and then reforge it up to tier 2? For example, let's say we are trying to snipe guild right now. We are trying to anoint our stuff with guild, but IRA, is it cheaper or not? So this column over here kind of tells me, based on the current market prices, is it more worth it to actually reforge, or is it more worth it to buy off the market straight away, depending on what you're looking for? These grayed out numbers doesn't really tell us a lot of things. So what I went to do is I color coded it. If it's red, or those of you colorblind folks, I have numbers here as well. Apologies as well. This is a color-coded video for any colorblind folks out there. But the ones that are positive are the ones that you are actually better off reforging rather than buying it off the market. So an example of something that is much cheaper to buy off the market would actually be stuff, for example, like Envy. Envy is a lot cheaper to buy from the market because if you notice, Paranoia 4.2 is your mid-market price. You multiply this by 3, you're actually having to pay 12 plus and a Paranoias just to craft one Envy. So for those of you who are reforging your Paranoias to Envy, please stop doing it at once. Sell your Paranoias off in the market, buy an Envy, and immediately you can get the money if you are holding on to it. The reason why, if you notice, paranoia is very expensive and greed is also very expensive in relation is because these two are very desirable. It gives you rarity increase on your waystones. It gives you more rare monsters, which is very, very desirable. So that is a huge tip that will save you money already. You don't even need to know, don't even need to have this spreadsheet. You just need the knowledge and you acquire that. You save yourself good resources, feel exalted every time. If you're crafting them, rolling them from paranoia up as well, is also not an advisable thing. And you can see down the line also what is more valuable, what is less valuable. In general, if you are looking for isolation is not worth it to buy off the market. You're much better buying 3 suffering, distilled suffering, and then crafting them up into the next tier, which is isolation. So this is very, very useful. Market always changes, the spreadsheet numbers will change, and then it will tell you a different story. This is just a snapshot as of time of recording, of course, a huge, huge disclaimer. So all of these numbers aside, it's easy to see in like one dimension, right? Just reforge the previous, reforge the previous, reforge the previous, and stuff like that. I went one step further, and what I did is I actually put in a relative value out of all of them. What is isolation's value, this 301 mid-market price, with respect to the base IRA? So I basically divided, so I just took the number, for example, this numbers over here, this mid-market rate of the certain ones, I basically multiplied by a third of whatever it is, because it's a crafting, right? So this one is like 3 IRA become 1 guild. So I needed to count backwards these numbers. I divided by 3, this one is divided by 9, this one is divided by 27, this is divided by blah, blah, blah. And then we will have a relative value. So as you can see, the starting 4 are actually the most expensive in terms of comparables, whereas the cheapest in terms of value that you get is actually suffering. These are all comparable now. So suffering is actually the cheapest on the market, whereas the most expensive ones are at the start. So if you were to buy a lot of IRA and craft it all the way up to isolation, it's going to be a huge, huge waste of money, because more red means bad to buy, bad to craft. Generally, they are more expensive. And it gets actually cheaper after NV. So if you're buying anything from the market, discuss onwards, it is quite affordable. It's actually quite worth it to actually shop on the market. And that's what this graph is telling us. Next up, I wanted to take it another step further as well. And of course, if you're finding value in this video so far, do give us a like, comment, and subscribe if you're already finding some information useful, something that you didn't realize yet. But now, let me give you even more information. Hopefully it's not information overload. I'll explain it very easily. This one over here tells us what happens if we do a certain situation. At the current market prices, if we reforge IRA right now, which means we buy everything in IRA, we craft them all up. So buy 3 IRA, craft a guild, we roughly are break even, which is telling us the same thing as this part up here. If we buy 9 IRA and reforge it into greed, we are actually losing a bit of money, and we just generally keep losing a lot of money if we are reforging IRA. And if we buy everything in IRA and like craft them all up to isolation, you actually lose like 4,100 exalted orbs, which is crazy amounts. So it's very, very expensive. But as it goes on, if you go on to like reforge guild, reforge greed, everything you can see is just a huge massive L by reforging the first 4 over here. You will never want to reforge this into the next tier because it's always a loss making. You're much better off selling whatever you have in the first 5 tiers on the market instead of reforging them. So never reforge these. Basically, at least as of time of recording, the market always changes. Once this video is out, people know the knowledge, maybe the numbers will change, but that's what this spreadsheet or a spreadsheet that you built for yourself will help you out a lot as well, to help you track what is the best decision to do. Thereafter, the first 5, of course, up to Reforge NV, we know is already generally quite expensive. You can see this from the relative valuation of each of them. Now, the best part, the genius or the insightful part, I wouldn't call it like genius part about math. The insightful part about this is actually looking at the back half. Discuss into suffering, reforging them. It's actually a very, very good decision to buy whatever you're looking for and start reforging. If you are trying to snipe, for example, what these boxes tells us is if I am looking for isolation, the best bang for buck is actually to reforge suffering, followed by reforge discuss. So if you can't find suffering for like some reason, maybe there's no market depth, very little in the market for some random reason, the second best option is discuss, but generally the highest numbers are the more optimal decision making. And for example, if I'm looking for suffering right now, everything is negative. So this tells me that buying it off the market is the best possible decision. There is no better option. And you can see that here with the relative valuation is also the most blue or the smallest number. This tells us that buying it off the market is the cheapest thing that we could possibly do. On top of that, if you go over here into fear, one tier above, notice that there are many good things that you can do with fear. By buying disgust at 0.6 and reforging disgust up, so disgust, reforging into despair, 9 disgust into 3 despair into 1 fear is actually your most optimal strategy rather than buying it off the market. So that is the thing that you want to do if you are looking to get fear in particular, and so on and so forth. For example, despair here is cheaper to just reforge disgust. And if you don't have or disgust doesn't exist, the next best option for fear is to go down reforging despair. These are better options than buying it off the market. So these are very, very quick tools, very, very quick tips. You can build this as well just by watching this video. The knowledge is actually more important than the actual math. If you want to do trading, you want to buy and sell, make use of the spread and arbitrage this as well, this sheet will help you a lot. And all I ask is join us as a member of the channel. You will get access to a lot of this work that we took hours and hours to build and maintain. And if you found this video helpful, of course, like, comment, and subscribe for more such future content. And check out our other trading videos on the channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.